Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'm the Pole Father, and it only takes one. We are back. Hope everyone is having a great evening. I got a very fun episode for you guys, and this episode is going to be strictly about Zard. Charizard is the fire-breathing dragon of Pokemon, the one of the faces of Pokemon, part of the OG 151, the chase, the thrill, the Zard. So, okay, for the not really easy topic to talk about here, but Phantasmal Flame. I missed out on Phantasmal Flame. I arrived early. I showed up on time. I had my computer ready to go. Bam, error 17 or 16, whatever it is. My wife's account, separate internet. Bam, error 16. Then I went on my phone, spinning ball error, couldn't check out. Then I went onto a work computer, separate Wi-Fi, separate internet account. Same as always, and so forth and so forth. Every single route and access point I tried on, I either got with the error 17 or error 16, or I got the spinning ball error. So I missed out. Disappointed, 100%. Really looking forward to new sets, new drops. Pokemon Center ETBs are awesome. They're great pickups for the collection. They're great investments, however you want to look at and approach it. But I want to talk to you guys specifically about this. Super bummed out, 100%. I missed out on a Charizard drop. Of course, I'm a big OG 151. I love the OGs beginning, guys. Mega Evolutions, Prism Evolutions, whatever you want to call it. VMAXs, Megas, I love them all. So I want to, if you missed out and you're stumbling along this video, I really want you to listen up here, because don't worry, it's not the end of the world. Don't go out there and buying these boxes at $400, $500 a pop. Do not do that. The worst thing you can do right now is panic buy because you missed out. And I'm going to tell you why. So turn back the clock. Okay. We're going to turn it back just a little bit here. So let's jump to, first I want to jump to a couple old Charizard sets, and I'm going to explain to you why and how for value for the card and the Zard. Okay. So we're going to turn back the clock and go to Burning Shadows. Burning Shadows was a set from Sun and Moon era that was heavily printed. And there was this Charizard called the Hyper Rare Charizard. Had a terrible print run. Super hard card to pull, super rare card, had a bad print run that many people don't know about. So to get a card in a 10 copy is very difficult, even today. And a lot of people don't know that. But for a card that is a hard one to get a hold of a clean copy, this is definitely worth the challenge. So, Burning Shadows, super overprinted. People will say Burning Shadows was not a great set, that the only set of that card is worth grabbing in your collection is this one right here. Maybe they're right, maybe they're wrong. But think about that for a second, guys. This card that has a very low PSA 10 pop, one, and a set that was very heavily printed, this card was floating around that $3,000 to $2,500 range for a long time. It had a hard time really biting that curve, getting over that hump, pushing that boulder up the hill. It floated there for the longest time. Now this card is starting to see sales at the 55 between 6,500 value mark. Probably even a little bit more with the new Charizard set coming out. I expect this card to rise in value. Moving forward, turn back the clock a little bit and then jump a little bit forward. These two Charizards you'll be familiar with. Right here you have the Charizard EX from 151, fantastic set. And then you have the Charizard here, the tribute artwork from XY Evolutions. Both these cards, super popular, iconic, tribute to the old ones, 151, first set to all 151 cards. But the value of these Charizards are quite different. Why is that? Because these came from sets that are a tribute to the OG 151. So I put these Charizard cards in their own separate category. Okay. Yes, desirable. It's a Charizard. It's this, but it's part of the cards, part of the set that were just more desirable, tribute, nostalgic sets. So keep that in mind. I bet these to hold their value more than these other Charizards I'm about to show you as well. Next. Now, I re-entered the hobby end of 2017, beginning of 18, right around there in that threshold. So I was around before COVID started. I remember when Sword and Shield New Era was coming around. Sword and Shield base, awesome. People were still opening up Sun and Moon. Rebel Clash. Wow, this new set, Rebel Clash. A lot of hype. Soon to be nicknamed Rebel Trash, for those of you guys who don't know. Now, I remember when it was, whoa, there's this new set coming out. We're getting the first Charizard VMAX. First appearance of Charizard VMAX. You know what that means, guys. The first appearance of any card of a Charizard type is going to be the card. That first appearance of Charizard VMAX is going to be huge. It's going to be big. It's going to be popular. The value on it, the pull, oh my God, we're going to have to get cases in order to pull this card. It's going to be ridiculously hard to pull. Darkness Ablaze. When that first case came out, I got a case. Guys, I built 4 of them. Those Charizards are long gone. But that Charizard card, raw value, floated between $60 to $100 for a long time for a raw copy. Let alone, here's mine right here. This Charizard VMAX, and here it is, was a fairly easy card to pull. It wasn't the easiest to pull, but it wasn't hard to pull. Like, pulling a VMAX in Darkness Ablaze set was not difficult at all whatsoever. But this was the only Charizard in there. It was the first appearance of the Charizard VMAX. To me, this is one of my favorite artworks here, okay? Let alone, this card, Darkness Ablaze, later on ended up being heavily printed because the Charizard VMAX, everyone wanted a copy on it. Pokemon knew that people were coming in heavy because it was COVID, and they didn't want anyone to miss out on it. So it was Darkness Ablaze, printed. People want the Charizard VMAX. People want the Charizard VMAX. In a 10 copy, it floated around $100 for the longest time. I think now this card's still like $220. It's still low-hanging fruit. But it's an iconic, favorable Charizard, but it's not hard to pull. But Darkness Ablaze, right? We all know Darkness Ablaze wasn't one of the best sets of Sword and Shield. Not really. If you ask the majority of people say it wasn't a great set. In my opinion, I'm an OG 151 guy. I love the Butterfree VMAX in that. But besides the point, this was the card of the set, and it's not a difficult card to pull. And it ranks low amongst other people, let alone the value of the box. I don't think is broke $400. I think it's still floating around the $300. It's kind of what it's worth. Now, shortly, let me take a sip of water. Shortly after Darkness Ablaze was printed, it's when kind of you saw the sticky things of COVID happen. Stimulus checks going on. Next thing you know, whoa, we're getting a specialty Charizard set, guys. Holy smokes. Specialty Charizard set. Oh my God. What are we going to see? We're going to see a gold Charizard. We're going to see something crazy. Charizard VMAX. What are we going to see? It's a set surrounded by Charizard. Charizard is the iconic card. Charizard. For those of you guys who don't know Champion's Path was that set that was out right around when COVID came out, and people were introduced to this idea of, hey, I could open Pokemon cards and make money. So let's bring these cards out. So this was one of the cards you could get from Champion's Path right here. They had a pull. This was the other Charizard that you could pull from Champion's Path. This Charizard was the ETB, the Champion's Path ETB. There was no Pokemon Center ETB of this copy, but this was the Charizard that you got from the Pokemon Center, or from the regular Elite Trainer box right here. These 3 Charizards right here, and these things were a hot hit. They were, oh my God, you can open up Pokemon cards and make money. You can do this, you can do that. I remember, and I would say this with confidence, in my area, I definitely had to be one of the very few people that got their hands on a sealed case of Champion's Path ETBs. And I opened it. Fresh to the hobby. Gosh, for that case, I paid like $225. Like, prices way lower. So I opened it, had my fun. So I pulled this Charizard VMAX, and this card is long gone. And I was so thrilled and bummed. I sent it to PSA to the quickest service possible. I got it back. It was a PSA 10. Ladies and gentlemen, I got offered $2,000 for that card. Not by one person, not by 2 people. I had multiple offers at $2,000 a piece. And guess what? I did not sell it. I was like, this card's gonna be worth more, the value, etc., etc. on this. Long story short, telling you guys the story, knowing what this card is even worth today during the hype, I should have sold it. But that's okay. You learn from your mistakes, still had fun, But my point is simply this. These Charizards came out, and these things were the Thunderbirds, I call it. Like the big, like the wow factor, the Zard. It's what brought that nickname, the Zard. I swear, these are the cards that gave Charizard the nickname the Zard. Pull the Zard. So what I'm trying to simply say is this, and same with like a promo. If you missed out on Phantasmal Flame like myself, don't panic buy. Don't go crazy out there and try and pick one up and snap buy ones that are up there for pre-sales. I promise you guys this one thing. Pokemon does not like people missing out. Yes, they're having trouble with supply right now. I promise you, they're working on a solution to correct the problem. I promise you, there's a lot of people out there that are installing so much FOMO about if you don't buy it now, you're going to miss out. Look what they did for 151. 151, I remember, was on the shelves and they could barely sell. And when the hype skyrocketed off, what did Pokemon start doing? They turned the printers back on and they said, keep churning 151, keep churning it, keep churning it, keep churning it. And all these sets right now that there's a short supply, I promise you, they will make up for this past year of a short supply. I promise it. I can guarantee it. We all have seen it happen before. So I'm a selling Phantasmal Flame. Am I upset? 100%. But I know for a fact I'm going to have my opportunity to pick it up. I have to wait for the right moment, the right time to get my hands on it. And that's why I wanted to make this video for you guys. Is simply this. These two Charizards here, I think now are slowly, finally starting to come back. The pop on all three of these Charizards are incredibly high. And I suspect Phantasmal Flame is going to have the same effect. I believe, and I'm making an educated guess on this, do I think this Charizard is going to be easy to pull? Easier, I think it's going to be. Do I think it's going to be harder to pull? No. And one more example I'll lead into is this. Brilliant Stars. That Charizard had been floating around at its peak for 500, 550 for the longest time. It finally trickled down to like that 375, 400 mark. Gosh, even lower, like 300 before things were steaming up. I picked up a raw copy at a convention. It's at CGC right now, hoping to add a pristine copy to my collection. And I also bought a PSA 10 for $400. It's in my eBay vault now. That card is commanding between $800 and $1,200 right now. And I just want to let you know, that's what hype driven can do for a lot of these cards. So if you're a collector like myself, no big deal. You finally got these back in your collection. You're thrilled, you're pumped, you love the card. I love my cards as well. But if you have the opportunity to capitalize on a card, I suggest you take it, because one of my biggest regrets and biggest mistakes in this hobby was I had the chance to sell this one for $2,000. I messed up, and now you guys know what it's worth. So for Phantasmal Flames, if you missed out on it like myself, don't worry. You will have the opportunity to pick it up some shape or form. I believe in Pokemon. I believe they're going to print. They've done it before. They've done it in the past. They have the power to print anything they want. And a lot of people are calling their bluff saying they can't print, they can't keep up with demand. Don't worry. They can. And when they do, be ready. Because I promise you, there's going to be a lot of people unloading product. But happy collecting, ladies and gentlemen. I'm the Pole Father. And I just want to make sure you guys know that I collect cards. And I hold my fair share of sealed product. But I always make sure I position myself correctly when I feel like I need to. If things go down, I feel that this is what I'm okay hanging on to, whether it goes up or down. So just remember that. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm the Pole Father. Subscribe to the channel. Hit me up. As always, it only takes one. We're back.